Welcome to today's deep dive. We're incredibly excited to have you with us today.
Absolutely. It is great to be here.
So look, if you're someone who has ever stared at a blinking cursor, typed a really generic prompt into an AI, and then just felt completely underwhelmed by the bland, sort of robotic response you got back.
We have all been there.
Right. It's so frustrating. Well, if that's you, then this deep dive is built specifically for you. Today, we are exploring a wildly popular open-source GitHub repository. It was created by a user named Tusarozowski.
Yeah, and it's officially called Agency Agents.
Right. Agency agents, though I've seen the developer community has just affectionately started calling it the agency.
Which is a way cooler name, honestly.
It really is.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to show you how this massive repository, which has over 55 highly specialized, personality-driven AI agents, can basically function together like a complete digital workforce right at your fingertips.
It really is an incredible resource. And to kind of set the mood for what we are about to discuss today, I want you to close your eyes for a second.
Okay. Picture a bustling, futuristic digital office space. Just imagine all around you, there are these interconnected glowing nodes. And each one of those nodes represents a different department in a massive agency.
I love that visual.
Right, because that is essentially what we are dealing with here. We aren't breaking down a think piece or some theoretical article today. This is an actual living GitHub repository.
With a ton of actual code behind it.
Exactly. It contains over 10,000 lines of processes, personality traits, and code examples.
And it is gaining traction fast, right? Like really fast.
Oh, absolutely. It already boasts over 3,500 stars from developers on GitHub.
Wow.
But you know what I love most? It's the origin story. It wasn't built in some corporate lab by a massive tech company. It was born entirely out of a Reddit thread.
Really? Just a Reddit thread?
Yeah, on the doll/Claude AI community. The creator posted this sort of early concept, and within the very first 12 hours, they received over 50 specific requests from users.
50 requests in 12 hours. Yeah. People were basically begging for specialized agents to solve their own unique bottlenecks.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because the fundamental difference between standard AI usage and the agency is, well, it's completely night and day.
It really is a paradigm shift.
Right. Usually, when you or I need help from an AI, we treat it like this magical black box. We type in something incredibly broad, like act as a developer and write this code, or act as a marketer and write a tweet.
Which is the worst way to do it.
And what do you usually get back when you do that?
You get something that is, well, it's fine.
Just fine.
Right. It's structurally sound, the grammar is correct, but it's incredibly generic. It reads like an eager intern who read a textbook on marketing but has never actually, launched a real campaign.
Exactly. This repository throws that entire model out the window. Instead of treating the AI as a blank slate, it provides you with agents that have deep, rigid specialization.
Highly opinionated agents.
Yes. They are programmed with clear deliverables, strict success metrics, and a learning memory. The best analogy I can think of is comparing a Swiss Army knife to an actual construction crew.
Oh, I like that.
Using a generic prompt is like asking a Swiss Army knife to build a house for you. Sure, it technically has tools on it, but
Going to take forever.
that's going to be a massive struggle. But using the agency is like hiring a specialized crew of master carpenters, architects, and foremen. Everyone knows exactly what their job is, and maybe more importantly, they know what their job isn't.
What's fascinating here is the design philosophy detailed in the source code. The creator explicitly states that these are not just prompt templates that you copy and paste.
Right, it's deeper than that.
Much deeper. They are transparent, forkable personalities with proven workflows.
Wait, let's pause right there for a second.
Right.
For anyone listening who might not spend their days deep in software development, can you explain what forkable means in this context?
Great point. So in software development, to fork a project basically means to take a copy of its source code and start independent development on it.
Like branching off.
Exactly. So when we say these personalities are forkable, it means you can take the master template of, say, a digital marketer. You copy it exactly as it is, and then you can tweak it to fit your specific company's voice.
Okay, so you aren't starting from scratch?
Never. You are standing on the shoulders of a heavily tested foundation.
That makes perfect sense. You're basically cloning a top-tier employee and giving them a new uniform.
Precisely. You aren't just giving instructions to a chatbot anymore. You are deploying an employee. And think about the advantages of a digital employee for a second.
They don't take lunch breaks.
Right, they never sleep, they never complain, and most importantly, they have been battle-tested in actual production environments over months of iteration.
They actually know what good looks like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They aren't guessing at what a good job looks like because they have rigid quality standards baked directly into their core instructions.
You know, what really caught my eye, though, is how these agents are programmed to behave.
Hmm.
The repository actually injects specific personalities and, like, quirks into the code.
Yeah, it gives them flavor.
It really does. It makes them feel less like software and a lot more like real, opinionated coworkers. Let me actually read you a few exact quotes from the source material, starting with their testing division.
There for it.
They have an agent called the evidence collector. And its internal mandate is literally written as, I don't just test your code, I default to finding 3 to 5 issues and require visual proof for everything.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate for a second here.
Sure.
As someone who has managed development teams in the past, if I have an automated system demanding visual proof for every single tiny bug, isn't that just going to bottleneck the entire pipeline?
It sounds like a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds incredibly slow and frustrating for the developers who just want to ship code.
You definitely think so. But the source material actually addresses this exact trade-off. It argues that while it might feel slower in the immediate moment, it actually speeds up the overall life cycle in the long run. So, by forcing the AI to provide visual proof, like an actual screenshot or a specific log output, you break the cycle of the AI hallucinating bugs that don't exist,
Oh.
or writing phantom fixes for things that were never broken.
Oh, the hallucinations are the worst.
They really are. So this rigidness, it prevents you from deploying broken code, which saves infinitely more time than it costs to just grab a screenshot.
That is a really fair point. It forces the AI to ground its output in reality rather than just generating text that looks like a plausible code review.
Exactly. And the personalities extend way beyond just coding. Look at the marketing division. They have an agent called the Reddit Community Builder.
Oh, this one is fascinating.
Now, anyone who has ever tried to market a product on Reddit knows that Redditors can smell corporate marketing from a mile away.
And they absolutely hate it. They will destroy your brand.
They will run you out of town. So this agent's guiding philosophy is written as, you're not marketing on Reddit, you're becoming a valued community member who happens to represent a brand.
See, that nuance is crucial. A generic AI would just blast out promotional links to every subreddit it could find.
Which gets you banned immediately.
Right. But this agent is programmed to prioritize adding value to the conversation first. It fundamentally understands the platform's culture.
Yes. And then there's my absolute favorite one. This is from the design division. It's called the Whimsy Injector.
The Whimsy Injector.
I love it. This agent is entirely tasked with adding joy and hidden Easter eggs to projects. Its internal quote is, let me add a celebration animation that reduces task completion anxiety by 40%.
Now, a Whimsy Injector sounds completely absurd at first glance.
It sounds like a joke.
It does. But there is a very serious, very practical reason why this matters. The personality isn't just a gimmick to make the code cute. It acts as a set of guardrails.
How do you mean?
Well, the source material notes that a Whimsy Injector believes that every playful element must serve a functional or emotional purpose. By giving the AI that specific worldview, you prevent it from generating useless fluff.
Right, because if you just tell an AI to make things fun,
It might just throw random, distracting confetti all over your screen for no reason.
which is terrible user experience.
Exactly. But the Whimsy Injector evaluates the user's emotional state, like the relief of finally finishing a really long, complex form. And it designs an interaction specifically to reduce task completion anxiety. That is a massive leap in user experience design.
It really is. It's so thoughtful. And, the sheer scale of this AI agency is staggering. To handle any project you might throw at them, the creator hasn't just built a handful of these agents. They've divided this entire digital workforce into 9 distinct divisions.
9 divisions. That's a real company.
It is. Let's just take a quick mental walk through the halls of this agency, because you really need to see the variety to understand its power.
Let's do it.
If you start in the engineering and design divisions, it isn't just one generic coder agent. You have back-end architects specifically focused on database structure. They hand their work off to UI designers who then pass concepts to image prompt engineers.
And an image prompt engineer, their sole job is to write highly optimized prompts for image generators like Midjourney or DALL-E, right?
Yes, exactly, which is an entire skill set on its own.
Completely. It takes real expertise to get those generators to output exactly what you want consistently.
It really does. Then you move over to marketing and product. You've got TikTok strategists who actually understand short-form video algorithms. You have trend researchers constantly looking for the next wave, and sprint prioritizers to keep the team on track.
Covers all the bases.
Over in project management and testing, you have studio producers and performance benchmarkers.
And don't forget the administrative side of things. The support division includes legal compliance checkers and executive summary generators.
Oh, I love the summary generators.
Right. These are agents designed strictly to translate deep technical jargon into clear, concise reports for a C-suite executive to read on their phone between meetings.
Yes. And they even have a spatial computing division.
Which is very forward-looking.
Very.
Yeah.
We're talking macOS spatial engineers specifically tuned for Apple Vision Pro development. Plus, there's an entire division dedicated to specialized coordination. It features an agents orchestrator designed specifically to manage complex workflows between all the other agents.
Yeah.
It is literally an entire corporate directory mapped out in code.
It is, and honestly, synthesizing this list really highlights the genius of the repository. It beautifully mirrors a real-world corporate structure.
It totally does.
And by doing so, it encourages you, the listener, to fundamentally shift how you approach your work. It trains you to think of your projects not as a single massive task for a solitary chatbot to struggle through, but as an assembly line.
Right, like an actual factory.
Exactly. In the real physical world, you would never ask your back-end database engineer to design your corporate logo.
That would be a disaster.
It would be terrible. And you certainly wouldn't ask your legal compliance officer to write a viral TikTok dance script.
I mean, I might pay to see that, but it wouldn't be good for the brand.
Exactly. So why do we ask our AI to do that? We open a single chat window and expect it to be a lawyer, a marketer, and an engineer all at once. This 9-division structure forces you to break your work down, isolate the individual components, and route it to the right specialist.
Here's where it gets really interesting. How do you actually use this massive roster today?
Yeah, how does the rubber meet the road?
Right. Because the source material doesn't just list the agents. It walks through 3 concrete, real-world scenarios to show you how these agents hand-work off to one another. I want to walk through them with you so you can really visualize this team in action.
Let's hear them.
Scenario 1 is building a startup MVP, a minimum viable product.
Okay.
If you were doing this alone, it could take months. But using the agency, you assemble a specific strike team. You start with a front-end developer and the back-end architect to build the core structure. But they don't work in a vacuum. They immediately hand their code over to the rapid prototyper, who pieces it together to ensure it actually functions. Then it goes to the growth hacker to ensure the product has viral loops built in from day one.
That is so smart.
And finally, before anything ships, it has to pass through the reality checker agent.
And the reality checker's job is to basically ask, is this actually useful, or did we just build a feature nobody wants?
Exactly. It's the ultimate grounding mechanism. The result is you ship a far superior product, vastly faster. Now, scenario 2 is a marketing campaign.
So a totally different skill set.
Totally different. For this, you pull from a totally different talent pool. You start with the content creator who drafts the core message, but you don't just copy and paste that message everywhere.
Which is what a lot of people do.
Right, and it doesn't work. Instead, you hand it to the Twitter engager, who adapts it for character limits and algorithmic reach. You pass the visual concepts to the Instagram curator, you send the nuanced, value-driven version to the Reddit builder, and the whole time, the analytics reporter is synthesizing the data to tell you what's working.
It's a coordinated multi-channel push executed by specialists.
Exactly. And I know you're waiting for the big one.
I imagine the third scenario handles the truly heavy lifting.
You guessed it. Scenario 3 is building an enterprise feature. This is where you bring in the heavy hitters. You start with a senior project manager who oversees a senior developer and a UI designer.
Okay, the senior team.
But here's where the quality control really ramps up. You integrate the experiment tracker to run A/B tests. You deploy that relentless evidence collector we talked about earlier to demand visual proof of every bug fix. And again, you cap it off with the reality checker.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, we can really see the brilliance of this modular approach. There is a deeply technical reason why this works so much better than standard prompting.
I was hoping we'd get into this.
Yeah, so interacting with large language models involves something called a context window. Think of a context window as the AI's short-term memory or its active working space.
Like trying to hold a dozen different phone numbers in your head at once.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
If you ask one single AI to act as the project manager, the developer, the tester, and the marketer all in one long chat thread, you are going to rapidly overwhelm its context window.
It just can't hold all that information.
Right. It's like asking a human to juggle 50 plates. Eventually, they're going to drop one. The AI will start forgetting earlier instructions, it will hallucinate features that don't exist, and it will make careless mistakes because it's simply trying to hold too much context at once.
It loses focus. It forgets what it was supposed to be doing in the first place.
Precisely. By splitting tasks among specialized agents, you completely sidestep this issue. Each agent only needs to hold the context of its specific, narrow job.
It makes so much sense.
The evidence collector doesn't need to know about the marketing strategy. Its only focus, its entire existence, is tearing code apart to find bugs. This isolation of duties is how you ensure enterprise-grade delivery. You get built-in quality gates because no single agent is ever overwhelmed.
So what does this all mean for you right now? Let's talk about the practical steps to actually get your hands on this digital workforce, because the barrier to entry is surprisingly low. As we mentioned at the start, this is an open source project. It operates under an MIT license.
Which means it is incredibly permissive. You can use it entirely freely, whether you are tinkering with a personal hobby project on the weekend or integrating it into a massive commercial enterprise.
Exactly. There are a couple of ways you can start using it today. If you are a developer, the repository is designed to integrate seamlessly with Claude Code.
And just to clarify for anyone listening who might not be familiar, Claude Code is not the standard Claude web interface that you access through your browser.
Right. It's different.
It's a specific command line tool designed for developers to use directly within their programming environment.
Good clarification.
Yeah.
If you use that tool, you can literally copy the agent files from GitHub directly into your local directory, specifically the .claude/agents folder. And suddenly, this entire workforce is available to you right in your terminal.
But what if you aren't a developer? What if you just want to write better emails or plan a marketing strategy? Are you just locked out?
Not at all. You can still get massive value from this. You do not need to be a programmer. You can simply go to the GitHub repository, browse through the folders for the different divisions, and just read the prompt structures in plain English.
It's all just text at the end of the day.
Exactly. You can look at the highly tuned system prompts that Ms. Trzewski and the community have created and use them as references. You can literally copy the instructions for the executive summary generator and paste it into whatever AI tool you prefer to use daily. It instantly upgrades your interactions.
And the source material makes it clear that this current iteration is really just the beginning.
They have a roadmap.
A very ambitious roadmap. The creator is planning to launch an interactive agent selector web tool.
Oh, that will be huge.
It means in the future, you won't even have to navigate the code repository. You'll just use a clean visual interface to point and click to assemble your team. They are also working on complex, multi-agent workflow examples, and most intriguingly, a community marketplace.
A marketplace for AI employees.
Exactly. A hub where people can share new, highly specialized agents they've designed for incredibly niche industries. This raises an important question for all of us. I want you to really think critically about how software development and, frankly, business operations as a whole are fundamentally shifting right beneath our feet. It's a massive shift.
What does it actually mean for the future of work when your most reliable, consistent employees are transparent, forkable repositories of logic?
It changes the entire math of starting a business.
It does. When you can literally copy and paste a world-class legal compliance checker or a viral marketing strategist onto your hard drive, the traditional barriers to executing complex, multidisciplinary projects begin to evaporate. You no longer need a massive budget to hire a diverse team of specialists to get a high-quality product off the ground.
To summarize the massive value of the agency for you today, what we're looking at here is an absolute masterclass in AI specialization. It is a tool that fundamentally respects your time.
Time is the one thing you can't get back.
Right. By providing proven, production-ready workflows, it saves you from having to reinvent the prompt engineering wheel every single time you start a new task. You don't have to guess what makes a good prompt for a database architect anymore. The open source community has already figured it out, rigorously refined it, and packaged it up for you to use entirely for free. Absolutely. And I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over. It builds purely on the source material we've explored today.
Lay it on us.
We touched briefly on the fact that the repository includes a highly specialized agent called the agent's orchestrator. Its entire function is multi-agent coordination. So, consider this scenario. We now have over 55 perfectly tuned, highly opinionated individual agents. Each one has a deep memory, a specific personality, and rigid quality standards.
Right.
What happens when this orchestrator begins managing them automatically? Imagine you type a single overarching goal into your computer before you go to bed. Build me a productivity app.
Okay.
While you sleep, the orchestrator assigns the task. The back-end architect writes the code. The evidence collector reviews it, rejects it for failing visual proof, and sends it back.
Wow.
They begin to debate each other, they iterate, refine, and improve the product without any human intervention. Then the orchestrator pulls in the marketing team to write the launch copy based on the final code.
All while you are asleep.
All while you sleep. You wake up and the app is finished, tested, and ready to launch. What does a modern company actually look like when the entire C-suite, the development team, and the marketing department are essentially a self-coordinating network of scripts, executing quietly on your local machine overnight?
That is a wild and very real future to imagine. The gap between an idea and a finished product has never been smaller. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the agency. We hope you found some valuable insights to bring into your own workflows, whether you are building a next big startup or just trying to get your AI to finally write a decent email. Until next time, keep exploring.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.